Hello, chat. As you can see, today I've been taken over by a brain slug. I felt like this was necessary for today. So here it is. We're gonna have like a different screen. I have like a bunch of tabs open. Well, not a bunch. I have like 3 tabs open on my Google Chrome here because we're gonna go over some stuff. I felt like I needed visuals for today as I talk about things instead of like when we were going over the serial nonsense. There was no visuals, which was fine, but also I feel like it was missing from the vibe. So I have visuals today. Also, I'm gonna turn on the background music for today. The background music for today, you can find it in the description. It's a playlist of every single piece of music from the Futurama, the game, for PS2. I thought it would be good to bump. Very good background music. Hopefully it doesn't get me flagged. I figured like the actual theme might, so I didn't want to just play that on a loop. But yeah. Welcome everybody to the stream. Welcome Bacon. Welcome to the stream. Carson, welcome to the stream. I can't speak today. Argument, welcome to the stream. I hope everybody's having a wonderful day. Everything froze weather-wise. Yeah, the weather's been shit. I have not been happy about the weather. I had to drive around today a couple of times, and everything's ice. Every single thing on the road is ice, and it's not great. Also, if the music is too loud or too quiet, let me know. I put it down just a little bit because I'm looking at the levels in, like, OBS, and I feel like it might have been a little bit too loud. I don't really know, but we'll see. I kind of like this brain slug. I think it should be a part of my model. It's actually attached to my crown right now in VTube Studio, so it kind of floats around like that, and I kind of like it. It's kind of cool. Also, hello Jujuka, welcome to the stream. Hope you're having a wonderful day as well. Stream elements. I'm going to remove this for now. I love just removing stream elements message from the chat. It's really funny. I was wondering if you just had a different background besides the Windows XP. I'm working on it. I haven't had time to like fully flesh out what I want my actual background to be, so we still have this temporary one. But I'm gonna make a proper one, don't worry. It's gonna come eventually. It's going to show up. But yeah. Also, Bacon, you have to tell me about the comment that you saw when you were getting rid of the AI features on the streams for your friends. You'll have to tell me and show me, or tell me, show me, whatever. You'll have to share with the class the comment that you found. The slime is appropriate for today, but I do prefer your crown. That's fair. That's fair. It won't be. This isn't like a permanent thing, by any means. A king needs his crown, right? Like, of course. But I like the slug, the brain slug for right now. Also, really funny, when I went to go get this picture, because it's just a PNG off of, like, the wiki, it said that it was from an unknown planet, which is actually wrong. They are from the brain slug planet. I don't know why that wasn't discussed. It's been mentioned in 2 episodes of Futurama. It was in Head in the Polls, and then also in Raging Bender, they explained that they're from the brain slug planet. So I don't know why it was like, it's an unknown planet. Like, no, the planet's named after them, but that's fine. The wiki is failing. Obviously, I need to rewrite the entire wiki. Anyways. I had to walk to get a cake for my dad and sister's birthday. Almost fell twice and saw red ice. Oh no, that sucks. But, happy birthday to your dad and your sister. I hope they had a lovely day. Hopefully the cake was at least good. It does suck that you had to go and get it and like walk to go get it, but I'm glad you survived. Okay. What was I doing? Oh yes, I'm gonna switch. I'm gonna switch the thing so that we can get into discussion mode here. I have, at the ready here, an entire list of every single Futurama episode. I don't really know how I want to approach this today. There's a lot of things that I kind of want to talk about, but I'm going to approach it in a way where I'm going to give my thoughts about a lot of the episodes, explain some things. We're going to go over my watch guide that I made, because we talked about that the last time, and I actually did sit down and like make a watch guide for everything past season 5. So we're going to look at that as well. Also, so I have the IMDb. I'm just going to pull it up here. Hold on. No. So yeah, I have the IMDb website list here of all the episodes. So it actually has ratings for all the episodes as well, which I think is pretty interesting. I don't think I've fully like sat down and rated each of the episodes. I just want to take a look here. Oh no, that's the season that's not out yet. This is far too nice of a rating. These are way too... Oh my god. That's actually appalling. I can't believe that that episode is an 8.1 out of 10. That's actually crazy. I would have given it like a 3. This is also too nice. Some of these are way too nice. This is... That's kind of fine, actually. This is probably the only one I agree with so far. Oh my god, that's so funny. But as you can see, these are the Hulu era. Oh my god, this... this is almost too nice, too. This episode was a 1 at best. That's actually crazy. I think that's the lowest score that I've seen on IMDb for any episode of Futurama, actually. That's kind of crazy. But I would have given that episode a 1. I don't even know why it has that. But as you can see... Oh, this is the top rated one. You know what? That's fair. That is actually fair. This is the Among Us, the episode, by the way. But anyways. As you can see, once we get into... This is the Hulu era, starts at season 11. I don't think anything really has over an 8. Which is... They're being too nice, honestly. But we will get to that when we get to it. Just bear with me. This is the shit I read on a stream of my friends playing 120 star run of Mario 64. Enjoying a soy almond milk iced mocha and taking estrogen pills while watching this. That's a mood. That's such a real comment on a 120 star run of Mario 64. That person is living their best life. That's genuinely awesome. They are truly living their best life, Bacon. I hope you pinned their comment. That's kind of fire, I'm not gonna lie. Okay. Seeing my background in the background of this is getting a little annoying. I'm gonna turn it off. What do you think? Should we have... You could see a little bit of the grass in the back in the sky, or should we have it turned off and it's just black borders? It looks more professional like this. Because this is a professional stream. I'm going to be teaching everybody about Futurama today. So, what do you guys think? We could have some grass, we could have not grass. Since when is professional your goal? Only today! It never is. This is also not professional. I'm kind of just... bullshitting. I don't know. I don't really like the grass. Let's just keep the grass off. Let's just leave it like this. I think I could also make it green. Oh, that's just a whole green screen. Nobody edit this, okay? I'm turning it off. I don't need to give you guys green screen power right now. I don't think that that's good. Maybe one day, but not today. I can't pin it. I don't have a high enough clearance. Oh my god. But then you have to tell your friends to pin it because that's kind of fire. Okay. I am an editor. Okay. Carson, don't get any ideas, okay? I turned the green screen off. I didn't even say anything funny on it, so you can't do anything about that. Unless you just took a screenshot and are just gonna, like, make my bottle, like, explode or something. I think you did that in one of your videos with my old bottle, which I think is great. I left a like. Yes, good. Okay. This is what I was talking about. So this is my episode guide, by the way. Which we will go over. This is unfortunate. I don't know. The Hulu seasons, like, low-key sucked so bad. And I'll talk about that in a little bit as well. But I do have this that we can discuss, too, once we get to it. And I can, like, pull up the episode on the IMDb list. I was gonna have Disney Plus open, but I feel like if I accidentally clicked on something on there and an episode started playing, YouTube would throw my channel in the garbage, so we're not gonna do that. And we're just gonna look at it on here. Actually, I want to see something. Okay, so they also don't have the movies listed. They have them listed as individual episodes, which is kind of unfortunate. I would not recommend watching the movies like this. It's just not good. Like, I don't know. They miss so much stuff when you watch them in, like, these 4 chunks of episodes, and it just kind of sucks. They cut out a lot of things, especially from the first one and Into the Wild Green Yonder. They cut out, like, so much, and it's very unnecessary. Hello, IMDb. Why are you lagging like that? Okay. These are the top-rated episodes, which is honestly fair. I won't... This was the series finale up until Hulu decided to be idiots. And then this is the episode that makes me cry all the time, so that's actually fair. Okay. I'm gonna do a poll, because we all know that I love doing polls. Okay, so there's my poll. I want to see how many of you guys have actually watched this show to, like, the full extent, or watched, like, some of it, or have it... Already somebody said they have not watched a single episode. That is crazy to me. This is legitimately my favorite show ever. How are we not watching a single episode? Watch some of it. It's 50-50 between watch some of it and not a single episode. Nobody has watched this show from, like, beginning to end. Wow. I'm either, like, coming out of the woodworks and being like, I'm a huge nerd, or, like, I'm just old and I, like, grew up watching this show. I don't know, guys. To be fair, the first episode came out when I was 1 year old, so I was not watching it from the beginning. I think I started watching it probably when I was, like, 5, 6, I don't know. So I didn't grow up watching it, but I did at the same time because I watched a lot of it when I was, like, younger. I watched specifically seasons 1 to 5, like, a lot when I was growing up, like, a lot. Bones has entered the chat, and also I see that Fully Watched It has gone up by 1, because Bones, I think, is the only person who might like this show as much as I do. It came out the year before I was even born. I was only 1 when it came out, so... It was me. I haven't seen it. Well, Argument, you're gonna get the full guide from a professional today. I'm going to tell you the best way to watch this show, and I'm going to go into great detail about it, so you just need to buckle up and pay attention. I've watched the first 5 seasons. Okay, that's really... If you've watched, like, seasons 1 to 5, you're set. You're fine. I mean, you can continue watching after that, and we will go over that when I talk about my watch guide here, but, I mean, I would consider that to be, like, the only episodes that you need to watch. The other ones are kind of like optional. There's still some good ones, and we'll go over that, but this is seasons 1 to 5 is pretty much, that's like the golden era. That's like pretty much all you need to watch, honestly. You're both old and a nerd. Thanks, Carson. You are too, bro. I do not like humor. I don't like this kind of forced laughing, so I am neither into Futurama, Family Guy, or Simpsons, or... Oh, okay. That's fair, that's fair. Honestly, I get it. These types of shows are not for everybody, so I'm not gonna, like, force anybody to watch it, but today's stream is just talking about this and going over it. You're goddamn right. Yes! Old nerds, hands up in the chat. I'm not even that old, okay, guys? 1998, like, I was, like, 2 in the 90s, okay? It's fine. I'm not even that old, chat. Anyways, I'm gonna end the poll for now. But yeah. Okay, so nobody has watched it fully, except I'm pretty sure that was Bones. Which is fine. 2 of you have not watched a single episode, which is crazy to me, but that's fine. Again, it's not for everybody, but, you know, I still think it's crazy to not have watched, like, a single episode of this. Also, I do appreciate the actual hands up in the chat for being an old nerd. Let's go. Okay, first and foremost, best pilot of a TV show ever right here. Like, fully. This has literally been regarded as one of the best pilots for a TV show in the entire world. I don't think we really need to look at the cast, but the cast is there. If you have not watched any Futurama, and maybe you just want to, like, definitely start with this. I would say, so this is something that I was, like, thinking about the other day, is, like, if you have to watch this in chronological order, because the show is episodic. It's not like you have to watch it one at a time, but I also think that it makes a lot of sense, especially with the first season, to watch episode 1 all the way till 9. And there is only 9 episodes in season 1, so there's not like that many, honestly. But yeah. And season 1 as a whole package, as it comes to world building and setting up the characters and everything like that, if you watch from episode 1 all the way to 9, it's a beautiful package. And I think they fully establish, they kind of fully establish every character in the show in the first episode, but then you kind of get a little bit more of a deep dive on a lot of the characters, and by episode 9, which Hell is Other Robots, this episode is so good. This has got to be one of my favorites, actually. One thing I wanted to actually do today was also figure out what my favorite episodes are, because I haven't, like, fully sat down and figured that out. Wow, I can't type today. Episodes. There we go. So I'm gonna make a list now. Hell is Other Robots is definitely one of those. Not even, like, a question, honestly. There's a musical number in that. I can't play it. Fantastic musical number. Homer Simpson. Homer Simpson is the robot devil in this. Dan Castellaneta is the voice of Homer Simpson. He's the robot devil in this episode. My god, he's fire. Amazing musical number in this one. The plot is great. The characters are so fun. Definitely one of my favorites. Season 1, episode 9. So that's already on this list, because it's actually perfect. What does this have a rating as? What did you rate? Oh, 8.1? This is a 9. This is easily a 9. It's easily a 10 for me, actually, so... There's not too many overarching stories type seasons. One of my favorite episodes from each season. Which episode has White Bender in it? We will get to that. I think that's season 3 or 4. It's season 4. It's this one. This has White Bender in it. It sucks! I hate it. It sucks. There's a picture of him here. I don't like it. I'm getting ahead of myself, though. But yeah, I don't like it. Will there be a test at the end? No, there doesn't have to be a test at the end. Don't worry about it. We're not there yet. This is just a introductory lesson. It felt required to ask. No, that's fair. We'll get to my White Bender rant in a bit here, but not yet. We still have some other stuff to talk about in regards to season 1. So to answer there's not too many overarching stories. There's not too many. There is, like, overarching narratives that kind of go throughout, like, the whole series until we get to the Hulu era, because they literally thought that they were going to be, like, done when Hulu picked it up again and brought it back. Which Futurama has been canceled 5 times, I think? So they got this was the original series finale, another fire episode. Robot Devil is back in it. Pretty much every episode that Robot Devil is in is, like, fantastic. This was their original series finale, and then they got picked up again to do movies. So this was their second finale. So at this point, they got canceled twice. And then the Comedy Central era... No, where was it? Overclockwise was, I think, another one that they were gonna get canceled here too. So that would have been 3. And then this is the 4th time they got canceled. So they've been canceled 4 times. It's 4 times. But then if Hulu does not, because this is the last season that Hulu has greenlit, which is coming out this year. If Hulu doesn't reboot them again, they'll be canceled 5 times. Which is great. Actually, I think this was supposed to be another series finale. So they've had 5 series finales, but they wrote this before they knew that Hulu was going to reboot them or, like, greenlight them for 2 other seasons. So technically they've had 5 season finales or series finales, but they've only been canceled 4 times. Does that make sense? We're waiting for Hulu to freaking shut them down again, and Hulu's not handling this show well, so I wouldn't even be upset. Like, I'm sorry. I came to the conclusion that this was going to be the end of the show a long time ago, because it ended in 2013, and then Hulu picked it up in the big 2023, 10 years later, and kind of just spat on it, and it's very unfortunate. Why is season 12, episode 9 look like the Adventures of Tintin? Because they did a parody of that. So they actually did do a parody of Tintin in this episode. Where's the arrow? There it is. There. So they did do a parody of it. This is probably the only thing that I actually... Wow, my model, like, freaked out. This is probably the only thing that I actually liked about this episode was their Tintin parody. Because I actually found it pretty cool. And I think the animation style was pretty awesome for it as well. Like, the art direction was really good for this episode in particular. But art direction only takes you so far, I think. So I don't know. It was pretty okay. I mean, like, it's cool. It's cool looking. They also did a Nancy Drew parody, I think, in this one. They did a couple of different parodies for, like, book series in this episode. But yeah, they did parody Tintin, and I think they did a good job. Like, it's pretty alright. Oh. Just take me back to Futurama, bro. Dude, no. Take me back to the episodes. There we go. It's nice looking for effort. Yeah, no. I mean, it actually looks really good, but unfortunately the writing just does not make that episode, which is really sad, honestly, because I think it looked really good. But yeah. Also, Futurama the Lost episode is not on this list, I don't think, which I think is crazy because it's literally the video game episode, but that's fine. I needed some water. Gotta stay hydrated for the amount of talking I'm going to be doing in this stream. Anyways. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, they got canceled 4 times. And they thought they were gonna get canceled 5 times. And Hulu might cancel them again. I don't know. Is that how many times the show has been canceled and rebooted, like, in all of history? Is it the most that's happened? I have no idea, but it's definitely happened a lot. Which I think is why the first run here, when they got canceled the first time, is probably the best it's ever been. And then after that, it kind of suffers a lot from just being rebooted a bunch. And you can start to tell as we kind of go down the line in regards to episode quality, which kind of is sad. This episode's peak as well. iRoommate's probably one of my favorites too. I'll put it on the list as well. That's episode 3. This is the one where Fry and Bender actually start living together as roommates. And they were roommates. No. Oh my god, they were roommates. But yeah, it's really kind of a episode that was just built around Bender's personality, I guess. We kind of found out that he has, like, a really bad jealousy complex. And he's actually quite emotional, which I think is one of the best traits of Bender as a character, is that even though he's a robot, which is not supposed to feel emotions and stuff, he is probably one of the most emotional characters in the show. And most of his storylines are about his connections with people and, like, his friendships with people and his relationships with them. And also he has this, like, really bad fear of, like, not being remembered or, like, making his mark on society and being seen as an individual, which is really interesting because he's a robot and he's, like, not a unique one either. Like, there's so many other robots that look exactly like him, but then they use that to kind of create this clever narrative with him being very self-conscious about standing out of the crowd and stuff like that. I wrote a paper on this in school. As you can tell, I know a little bit too much about this concept. I did write a paper on this for one of my classes, which is great. And I got a pretty good mark on it, but I'm pretty sure my teacher was like, what are you talking about? But you know what? I said to my teacher, I was like, can I do my essay? It was like my final essay. I'm like, can I do my essay on the humanity through, like, Bender from Futurama? And he was like, yeah, like, that sounds really interesting. So he wasn't, like, not expecting it, but I'm pretty sure he wasn't expecting. I think I wrote like 5 pages. It was kind of ridiculous. I don't think he knew who he was talking to when I presented this idea to him. Also, hello, Delito. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Happy late New Year. Oh, well, thank you. Also, not Holy Bazongas. Please, sir. Is the arm on the left have a tattoo that is chicken jockey? No, it doesn't. What tattoo do you think looks like chicken jockey on the left arm? Hold on, let me pull up VTube Studio. There's like an Among Us cow and like another cow and like milk tank milk. There is a Minecraft zombie, that is true. But it's not chicken jockey, it's a creeper. It's actually a creeper, it's not a zombie. My bad, guys. I forgot what I drew. It's a creeper, it's not a zombie. It's not chicken jockey. That would have been insane if it was chicken jockey. I think that would be crazy. Maybe my next model will have a chicken jockey tattoo right on my face. I think that would be great. It looked like a chicken jockey. No, that's fair. I think it would have been funny if I did put that on here, but I did not. Also, Bones, you're eating a mint chip blizzard. That is actually disgusting. Bacon, ban him. No, I'm joking. I'll do it myself. No. I think I glimpsed a Hulu ad maybe that plays some episode about this mother of all robots of the future. Oh, you mean like Mom? She created most of the robots. She runs a company called Mom Corp that creates most of the robots and stuff like that. So she's like a main reoccurring character. She gets introduced in this episode, actually. I'm sure there's a picture of her in here. There she is. That's her right there. That's Mom. That's her name in the show. There she is. She, like, created a bunch of robots and stuff like that, and she, like, runs a company that has all the robots. But she's been a character for some time in the show. Mom is a reoccurring side character. Yeah, exactly. Also, you can't blame me, King. It's like joining a Zentrea stream and all you see is getting flashbanged by Booba. Okay. Here, I will change just for you. Now I'm wearing... I don't know if this episode, outfit is much better than the other one, honestly, chat. It's still as cursed, I think. This is comfier clothes. What is this? Oh, it's this level. I was like, this is a weird song. This level, like, low-key... I'll give this video a like, by the way. This level sucks in the game. The game is honestly not even, it's not that great. But you know. Yeah, I thought that was the case, yes. With Mom as a character. Okay, this music is not fitting the vibe, but the song is almost done, I guess. What else is here in season, like, I'm trying to think of like other episodes that I really like in season 1. Like, season 1 is solid overall. I don't know if any of these are like fully my favorite, except I Roommate and Hella's Other Robots. This one introduces Zap Brannigan, who's like probably one of the best characters in the show. He's hilarious. He's very funny. But he's also ridiculous. But he's great. He's a great character, really funny character. Billy West does a great voice for him. Anytime he's in an episode is pretty funny. Like, what do we think, Chad? the dude with no pants. Yeah, he doesn't wear pants, which is kind of funny. But neither does Kif, who we talked about last time, because we were talking about the episode where he was pregnant. Which is a very interesting episode, honestly. So, I mean, like, that's a pretty good one just because it has Zap as a character. This is another Bender kind of is upset about himself episode. I don't know why we have 2 of those in this season. This was like an environmental episode, which is pretty cool. I think they handled it pretty well. Didn't this show have Death by Snoo? It did. I think that was season 3, that episode. Let me check. Yep, it's season 3, episode 5. I was correct. This is Amazon Woman in the Mood is the episode that you are referring to. That has this iconic screenshot. That I mean, I don't think I need to explain this screenshot. I was wondering, is that FNAF team game event thingy still happening? It is. I just haven't had time to sit down and properly prepare it because life has been very busy. But it is something that I will be trying to get set up for next month, hopefully. So I will keep you posted about that because I genuinely do still want to do that FNAF lore game show type thing. Death by Snoo, that never gets old. I know where I'm starting from. You're gonna start from this episode. Okay, argument. Futurama is the original source of Death by Snoo. Yes, that is. It's from this show. That concept. Why did I just get an ad for 3-pack men's undershirts? That's also expensive for 3 undershirts. No wonder. It only has 37 reviews. What is this ad? Bro, I'm not buying your undershirts. I think my first glimpse of any Futurama was the start of the Amazon episode. I was like 8 years old and up way too late. I was very confused. Oh no. That's cursed. Futurama is one thing that I like definitely watched when I was younger, and then as I got older and I rewatched it, I was like, oh, that's what that was about. You know what I mean? You have like that moment where you're like, oh. I gotta let me know before my birthday / Pokemon Day. I got some birthday subathon plans happening. And maybe a maid Delito making an appearance. Yo, yes! We've been waiting for this for so long, Delito. Or at least I have. I've been waiting for this for so long, Delito. So I'm hoping that that does happen for your birthday subathons and stuff like that. That might be fire. Being up way too late is everyone's source of the best obsessions. True. Very true. Anyways, let's go to season 2 now. I'm still keeping track of my episodes here. And then hopefully I'll be able to determine which one is the best one, or at least like top 3 or something like that. In my opinion, of course. I'm not even gonna look at these, I don't think. But there's a couple that I feel like are pretty good, but this episode is the Titanic episode, which is kind of interesting. Also, you can see here, this is where the production season and the broadcast season kind of get a little interesting because, as you can see, this stopped December 19th and then picked up February 6th in 2000. So I think that season 1 production order was actually quite short. I think that might have actually been it, but then there was, I don't really know where production and broadcast seasons kind of like end and stuff like that, but there is like a big gap between these 2 episodes, which is kind of the case because this is not how they're set up in some cases. Like, I think the original run ends at season 4 for production season, and then it starts up season, I don't even know, hold on, I don't think I'm doing a good job explaining this, so just give me a second. Because there is a weird way that this is like set up. Let me pull this up again. Hello? There we go. So, Yeah, Fox and Comedy Central often aired Futurama in different order than the production order during the original run. Reruns. Okay, so there's it's kind of confusing because the way that they set up certain episodes is different in the broadcast order as it is in the production order. So they broadcast season 1, they pretty much broadcast it like as normal. I don't think there's any outliers in here. There's the 9 episodes, it's all set up like that. But then I think it was season 2 they started going out of order. It's weird. It's very confusing. So this is the broadcast order. I don't know. It's very confusing how this is set up. This is how the show was broadcast, but it was produced differently. So it's always kind of confusing, like what is supposed to be where and what is supposed to be happening. I don't know. I think that this is kind of like the definitive list of what everything is supposed to be. So some sources might have it different, but I think this is the definitive one. But anyways, let me stop freaking discussing this because it's nothing. It's just me trying to understand it because it's really confusing when you talk to people and they're like, oh, this is this, but it's like messed up because there's 2 different ways that the show is presented on like different situations, but this is how it's presented on Disney Plus. So I think this is the way that it's presented on most things, is like this. But episode and seasons can vary depending on where you're watching it as well, so that's why I always include titles. Because it gets very confusing. 30 subs away from 100, so I mean, but Dragon Ball Super is back, so that's also why I'm doing Maid Delito. Honestly, fair. That's a fair reason to enter Maid Delito era. Evil robot Santa who kills people on Christmas. I forgot that dude existed. Probably one of the best ideas and plots that has come out of Futurama. It's so cool. Like, genuinely, I think this might be one of my favorite portrayals of Santa in fiction, which is kind of crazy because he's just a robot that kills people, but it's such a good concept, and I honestly love it a lot. I made a tweet saying if DBC anime, DBS, sorry, Dragon Ball Super anime makes a return, I'll have made Delito PNG. Yes, please. That would be fire. And I think it's not worth it. What's the word I'm looking for? Justified. It's justified to do that. You trying to understand so we can try to understand? That's either very deep or very shallow. I don't really know. I feel like it's not worth me explaining, but I will say, depending on where you're watching it, the season and episode number might be different. So just look for titles. If anything I talk about today interests you, look for titles. Don't necessarily hang on the season and episode number, because they might be different depending on where you're looking at it. I think that, like I said, this I believe is the definitive format of all of them, but I don't know. It's all very different sometimes. Anyways, Titanic episode, pretty good, but honestly, it's a Titanic episode. It sounds like I'm like downplaying it. It's still a very good episode, but it's just like kind of okay. I don't know if this is a hot take. It seems like it's not necessarily a hot take. I'm not a huge fan of this episode. Like, usually when I do my rewatch, I will watch from seasons 1 all the way to 5 without skipping episodes. But there are occasions where I do skip some episodes, and this is one that I sometimes skip. I don't know if that's a hot take in the Futurama community. This is one where Fry goes to university and his roommate is a monkey. that the professor gave a hat so he would be smart, and they're just getting into your typical university kind of shenanigans. And like, it's okay. Can this go away? Thanks. It's okay, but it has a couple of like funny moments, definitely, but it's not like that crazy. I don't know. It's all right. I wouldn't say it's a bad episode by any means, but it's just not one of my favorite ones, I don't think. Show me in the seasons listing where the episode hurt your soul. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. It's like a pretty okay episode. But I do skip it sometimes. This has shut off. Hello, Studio of Art Hub. Yes, this is my shirt. Technically, it's Markiplier kissing a bag of milk, if we want to get, like, really technical about it. But, I mean... the original image is him drinking a bag of milk, but I switched it for this, because, you know... bagged milk is just kind of a branding choice now. It is Milkiplier. It is Milkiplier. You will get the first preview, King. Well, thank you, Delito. I'm so honored that I get the first preview of Maid Delito. It means a lot to me. This one's kind of okay. I like this episode for the most part. It's like alright. It's the I think is this the first? Yeah, this is the first episode where we see the Omicronians, which is pretty good. It's very fun. The Omicronians are like reoccurring alien characters, so it's a pretty okay episode. It's pretty good. This is a Charlie and the Chocolate Factory parody, which is kind of interesting. It is a pretty good episode. I like the idea because they go to find out, or they go to the Slurm Factory, which is like this drink. It's this green drink that's in the future, and they win a trip to go to the Slurm Factory, and then they find out that it's not a drink, and this big space worm is just, I don't even know, shitting out this drink. It's really gross, actually. But then it kind of ends with them just being like, yeah, whatever, it tastes good, I guess. Which is a weird ending. But, I mean, it's a fun setting, all in all, so... It's pretty okay. I love the character. I like how colorful it is. Oh, thank you. Thank you. That's so nice. That is very nice of you to say. Was it really a branding choice, or did it happen? Also, yes, thank you, Delito. I'm very happy that I will be a part of that. This is the first episode with the sewer mutants. It's not the first episode that they are mentioned. They are mentioned in I, Roommate. Because Bender says that they'll go live in the sewers, and then he's, like, saying that, like, they can just use fire and scare the mutants away. So they're actually mentioned in the third episode, but this is the first time you actually see them. This is another Bender is jealous episode for absolutely no reason. There's so many Bender is jealous episodes. It's actually crazy. Should we make another list? I want to make another list of Bender is jealous episodes. Oh, why is that in caps? It's just going to stay in caps. I, Roommate is one of them. Episode 3. So I, Roommate is one of them. I Second That Emotion is another, which is season 2, episode 5. We're gonna do the gender jealousy. What did I just say? I mixed up the letters. Bender jealousy watch list right now. I think, was there any more in season 1? I think there was another one in season 1. Go away. I'm not buying your freaking undershirts, Amazon. This is a Bender jealousy episode. This kind of is, too. Fear of the Bot Planet is like, it kind of is. Gender jealousy. That's literally what I said, and I don't know why. Christ, my brain is just going away today. Was that episode 5? Yes. Okay. So this is the Bender jealousy frickin' watch list that we are going over now, as well as me picking out my favorite episodes. Yeah, this is literally Bender flushes Nibbler down the toilet in a fit of jealousy. He's so jealous of, like, anyone else getting attention. It's actually crazy. I don't know why Bender is like that. Chat, stop saying gender jealousy. I fucked up, I know. I can't speak. Good lord. I don't even know how I did that. Like, some people say that as, like, a joke, but that was just, like, genuinely authentic. Oh, God. Xmas Story is fantastic, by the way. Also, this one I watched, like, 6 times in the past week, and I don't even know why. Like, okay, so I watched this one because my dad is also a huge fan of Futurama. So we were particularly talking about this episode because Zap in this episode randomly has this, like, huge grudge against these people called the Neutral Planet, and the people that live on the Neutral Planet, and they're literally just neutral, like, they don't care about anything, and then he's, like, randomly just so mad at them. And it's a really funny bit that goes on throughout the whole episode, and it proves that the writing is just, like, really good in general, because it seems like it's just gonna be a one-off bit, and then it just comes back at the end, and it's really funny. But it was something that I was quoting, and then my dad was quoting it, so we watched it. And then, like, 2 days later, we watched it again, and then I caught him watching it, like, a 3rd time. And I was like, what are you doing? We just watched this the other day. And he's like, I fell asleep. So we watched it again, and I'm pretty sure we watched it for a 4th time within the same week. Which, it's a really good episode, but watching it 4 times in 1 week is kind of, like, excessive. But, like, it's pretty good. It's pretty funny. But yeah, also definitely my Futurama autism comes from my dad. He likes to pretend he does not have autism. I think he does. It's fine. And it's the same thing with me. Undiagnosed, but everyone's pretty sure, you know what I mean? Especially when we're watching the same goddamn episode, like, 4 times in a week. I feel like that's a lot. I'm quite sure your brain is overflowing with joy because you are not only allowed to, but encouraged to talk about your favorite topic by everyone who has joined the stream. Yes, honestly, that is a great explanation, Jujuka. It puts a positive spin on the fact that I can't fucking speak. But I am actually genuinely so glad that so many people are here listening to me just talk about this, like, random crap. It's really funny. It's funny but good. Let me specify. It's funny because it makes me laugh because it's like, what am I actually doing with my life this evening? But in a good, positive way. You know what I mean? Not in like a, wow, what am I doing with my life way, but mostly like a, I can't believe this is what I am doing tonight, and it's totally, like, chill. And I just keep saying gender jealousy in the chat. I know, I messed up, guys. This is probably, I think, one of the first Zoidberg-centric episodes, which is kind of cool. Zoidberg is a pretty good character. Unfortunately, this episode's a lot of him just getting bullied. And it also kind of becomes a jealousy episode, but Bender's not involved in it, so I'm not going to put it on the list. This episode is pretty good, too. You can see that this episode has the meme. I love how they put that as, like, the picture. That's so funny. But yes, if you're ever wondering where this meme came from, it did come from this episode, The Lesser of Two Evils, which is the, there's not really pictures of it, but there's another Bender unit in this episode called Flexo, and Bender and him become friends. Actually, this is a Fry jealousy episode. Why is there so many jealousy plots in this show? Because Fry gets jealous of Bender's new friend, Flexo, and then he's like tries to like sabotage their friendship. I don't even. There's so many episodes of characters being jealous and having these random freaking fits of jealousy between people. It's actually hilarious. When is Zoidberg not bullied? Honestly, true. It's kind of sad. He's always bullied. Where's the other one? The Shut Up and Take My Money is season 7 or 8. Let's see. It's Attack of the Killer App is what it's called. I think it's season 7. I was wrong. It must be season 8 then. Where the hell is it? It's definitely not season 9. Did I miss it in here? Oh, I did. It's season 7. Okay, I was right the first time. It's this one. Attack of the Killer App has the Shut Up and Take My Money. Which is interesting because this is like... This episode is regarded to be one of like the worst episodes of the Comedy Central era, but it still has that meme in it, which I think is kind of interesting. It has a better rating than I thought it would. But this is the iPhone episode. It's literally about iPhones and Twitter. That's what it's about. And that particular meme is Fry is buying an iPhone, and that's what he says. Because they're like, yeah, this phone, like, low-key sucks. And he says, shut up and take my money, and then that's the joke. It's about iPhones, guys. Death by Snoo will now be how I want to die. What? I don't know about that. Oh, how? Yeah, that typo's kind of bad. I thought I had not a favorite episode, but now I know better. Attack of the Killer App. I retract my last post. It's I don't really have a problem with that episode, but it is literally just about, like, it's a social commentary on, like, how people are too glued to their phones and how social media breaks up friendships and people get addicted to Twitter. Like, that's what the episode is, which is fine. It's a fine episode. I just feel like it's very topical and it ages kind of... I don't know if it ages poorly and good at the same time, and I just don't really know how to feel about it. It's fine, though. Except there is a side plot where Leela has a boil on her butt that she names Susan Boyle, and it sings. And I think that that's one of the main reasons people, like, really hate that episode, because it's, like, it's so unnecessary for the plot. And it's such a nothing freaking sandwich, because that plot doesn't even go anywhere. It's never brought up again. And it's just a plot point for, like, Fry to videotape her, and then she's embarrassed, and then she, like, is all over social media and is... I don't even know. It's alright. I don't know. It's an okay episode. It has some good moments and some moments that are really stupid. But yes, that's where this meme is from. This is a Fry jealousy episode. Raging Bender is a pretty good episode. The brain slugs are in this one, as well as they are in Head in the Polls, which was last season. But yeah, this one's pretty good. This is the one where Bender is in a dress. I mean... I mean, slay, queen. People have, like, a problem with this. I don't even know why. I think he looks great. This is the episode where he's in the Ultimate Robot Fighting League, and he's, like, a boxer. But then he's not popular anymore, so then they make him dressed like this. They said, Bender, you're not popular enough anymore. You must become a femboy. And then he just does, which honestly is so real of him. I want this to actually be my new wallpaper on my computer. That might be fire. I'm gonna save this image to my computer. Hold on, chat. Just in case my files come up. Not that I have anything in my files that I am hiding from y'all, but I have a lot of school files that have my full government name on them that I just don't really want to put on stream, I don't think. So, that's fine. We'll bring it back now. I just don't feel like it's the time nor the place to just post my full govy on live stream, so I prefer not to. Thanks for understanding. Anyways. What episode is Fry buying $100 of coffee? I thought that episode is the source of Shut Up and Take My Money. No, it's not that episode, but that is 300 big ones, something like that. I believe that's what that's called. That's probably season 4. Is it not season 4? Okay, then it's season 3. Oh, it's not season 3? Then it's season 5? It's season 5. Is it season 5? It is season 5. 300 Big Boys. It's this one. This is where he buys all that coffee and then he, like, goes into this stasis here. Where he's, like, literally so fast because he drank 100 cups of coffee with his tax rebate. That's what that is. That's a really good episode, actually. I do really like that episode. That's a pretty good one. Bender is dressing up and dresses often, isn't he? He does actually do that a lot, and he also becomes a woman in an episode, which I'm forgetting the name of it, but there is an episode with trans Bender, which is actually a fire episode, and people always have like a lot of issues with it, but I think the people who have issues with it did not watch the episode. Like, clearly they didn't watch it. Bender learns a really good lesson at the end, and the ending kind of like send-off message is actually very good, but people immediately are like, this is offensive, and I'm like, I don't actually think you watched the episode, but whatever. That seems to be a big issue with that particular episode, and I'm not really sure why, because I think people just don't have media literacy anymore, which is kind of unfortunate a little bit, but I digress. Am I saying that the episode aged perfectly? No, I'm not saying that, but I also think that there's a lot of nuance to the episode, and I don't think that people understand it and just kind of immediately get angry with it. Which is, I don't know. It's just not really... I don't think that's the way to go about it. Anyways. It has a really good plot in it, you know, and Bender learns a lesson at the end about respecting women and actually, like, being more in tune with his feelings and stuff like that, and that doesn't make him less of a man. Which I think is a pretty good message, but, you know, maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. Anyways, this episode is pretty interesting because it has a... It's pretty much a big reference to the show Married with Children, if y'all even know what the hell that is. Katie Sagal was in that show as, like, the main wife character. And then the husband character was Jay from Modern Family. It's a very old show, but this episode is actually a big parody of it. And Leela dresses like her character, Peggy, on that show in this episode, which is pretty interesting. A lot of people actually don't know that this is a Married with Children reference, which is kind of interesting to me because I've always kind of knew that it was, but a lot of people don't know that. So if you don't know, that's a fun fact for you. That what is happening in the background of this. IMDb is just doing whatever the hell it feels like lately, I feel. But yeah, decent episode. This one also has some interesting stuff when it comes to, like, the way that the internet is showcased, because the internet is showcased in this episode as they put on, like, these whole VR kind of suits, and then they go into the internet, and it's pretty interesting. It's like retro future tech, which is cool. This episode, unironically, probably one of my favorites just because of the song that they do at the end. It's so good. Genuinely one of the better episodes of this season, and just like in general because of the song at the end. Beautiful song. It includes probably one of my favorite lyrics ever, which is, when push comes to shove, you gotta do what you love, even if it's not a good idea. I love it so much. I love that so much. Married with Children is evil in a good way. Also, don't apologize about chatting too much, Juju Guy. I appreciate it all, no matter how much you chat. But yeah, Married with Children is like cursed, but also great. That's a good summary of it, for sure. This one's pretty good just because it has a lot of the Robot Mafia, which makes me laugh. Problem with the Poplars is also a pretty good one. Mother's Day, I think, is like fully introducing Mom as a character, which we talked about before. And then Anthology of Interest is such a great episode too. This is not the one that has White Bender in it, which I have so many issues with. But, so this one is actually better than the other one, because Anthology of Interest 2 is the one with White Bender. This is not that. This one's actually a very good time. This episode's okay. Sometimes I skip it on rewatch, honestly. Bender just becomes like a werewolf, but he's a car instead of being a werewolf. It's like, fine. I quote this episode a lot. This is a pretty good one. Bender and Fry just sign up to join the army because they want like a 10% discount on like gum, which is really dumb. And then Leela ends up also joining the army. And then it's just kind of like military stuff, but it's funny. It's just a good episode in general. Sometimes I skip this episode too, I'm not gonna lie. It's fine. It's just Fry's ex-girlfriend coming back to the future, and then she's kind of just like a bitch. I don't know. It's just Fry getting like treated like garbage for 22 minutes or something. It's okay. There's a couple of like funny jokes near the end. Pauly Shore is in it, which is kind of random. But yeah, I don't know. It's just kind of okay. Parasite's Lost is a really good one because it kind of explores a lot of Fry and Leela's relationship, which has kind of been explored in a lot of episodes, but this is probably like the first one where it's properly explored and Fry actually confesses his feelings to Leela, which is pretty interesting. It's pretty good. He gets like these worms inside of him, I guess, from eating an egg salad sandwich, and they change how he acts and stuff, and at the end he decides that he doesn't want to have them anymore, even though Leela likes him, that he's like more matured and a better person because of these worms. But he wants Leela to love him for him, so that's that pretty much. I mean, odd as it is, I usually skip the Deadpool episode when I watch Ultimate Spider-Man because sometimes it's so bland. Yeah, like, I'm not saying any of these episodes are bad. Some of them are just kind of like, I almost said mid. They're not mid. They're just kind of okay. They're like pretty okay. They're pretty good, but there's some that I just don't watch again and again. Bendless Love is another one that I've watched like so much in the past little while, and I genuinely don't know why. I just always end up watching this one again, and it's never on purpose. It's always like an accident, because it's just like a pretty okay episode as well. This is another Bender is Jealous episode. Holy crap. It's been a while since we had one of those, but here we are. This is a Bender is Jealous episode. He is jealous of Flexo because he likes this girl, Angeline, and Flexo is her ex-husband. And then by the end of it, Bender does not get the girl, which is kind of sad a little bit. This episode is probably the first time that they actually did, like, a proper overarching plot, or they set up, like, an overarching plot, and they discussed that Fry is kind of, like, special in a way, because there are these brain aliens that attack Earth, but they can't attack Fry, because he does not have a delta brainwave, but we don't find that out until next season or the season after. This is a Zoidberg heavy episode. It's kind of fine. There's a lot of, like, little jokes that are kind of fine, but I sometimes skip this. Unfortunately, I think this is the episode I skip the most. It's kind of just, like, they spill oil on penguins, and then Leela's trying to, like, be on the side of the penguins, and then Bender disguises himself as a penguin, but then thinks he's a penguin. And that's kind of it. That's kind of it. It's fine, but I skip this one the most when I rewatch it. This episode's fire. Luck of the Fryrish. Absolute banger episode. I'm putting it on here. What is that? Episode 10? Fire episode. I would suggest, if you wanted to just start watching Futurama and didn't want to start from the beginning, watch this one. I'm not going to go into a lot of details with it because it's just so good. The twist at the end is so, like, emotional. It has such an emotional impact with the twist at the end, and it's just fantastic. The writing has never been better than this episode, I think. Outside of some of the future ones in the later seasons and stuff like that, but this is a fantastically written episode. Very good emotional core. Very amazing storytelling in general. Watch this one. It's fantastic. If you don't want to watch things in chronological order, check this one out. It's really, really good. Why does Leela have 2 eyes? She gets 2 eyes in this episode. So she has a surgery where she gets another eye grafted onto her face because some guy likes her. And also the guy, his name is Adelaide Adkins. He's voiced by Tom Kenny, which is a very interesting fact. Also, this is an episode where Bender decides that he's going to adopt a bunch of orphans, and him and Fry just become the parents of these orphans. So there's a lot of, like, domestic Fry and Bender with all these children, which is actually very wholesome. For some reason, that's also in this episode. I would say watch it just because of that. It's actually very wholesome and sweet. This is a very good episode. My face hurts from talking. But this is a very good episode. It introduces Roberto, who's this robot here. Probably one of my favorite robots in all of Futurama. He's so funny. He does that. I don't know if you guys have ever seen clips of him, but he's the one that just, like, stabs. He goes, aha! And he just stabs people. It's actually funny. They basically get trapped in an insane asylum for robots, and Fry also goes to this insane asylum for robots, and then he thinks he's a robot. And it's, I don't know, it's pretty good. Bender has some actually, like, hilarious moments in this episode as well, which is great. This is the Beck episode. So Beck, like, the singer, is in this episode. There are, like, no pictures in this episode. But it's a good episode. Bender becomes a folk singer after he gets paralyzed. It's alright. I don't know, it's okay. Sometimes I skip it, sometimes I don't. Time Keeps Slipping is a very good episode. First time that I think they really, like, fully dive into time travel stuff outside of Fry being taken to the future. Every time Futurama does time travel, they actually do it very well. This is a great example of that. There's also more Fry and Leela in this as well, which is good. And the Harlem Globetrotters are just in this episode randomly. The Poke King sleeping stream incoming. I am getting very tired. But we will not have the sleeping stream today. What was that image of Zoidberg looking like naked Mr. Krabs? It was in this one. That's what Zoidberg looks like without his shell. He looks like this. I don't really like it. I don't think it's good. I think it's very strange. This is an okay one. Lots of internet stuff on here too, like just internet, like you shouldn't download things illegally, and that's basically that. Roswell, That Ends Well. One of my favorite episodes as well. Season 4, episode 1. That episode won an Emmy, actually, which it fully deserved. It fully deserved that Emmy. This is a fantastic episode. It's about time travel. It is that the Futurama Planet Express ship is the alien that they found in Roswell, New Mexico in 1947. And Zoidberg was the alien. It also explains why Fry does not have a delta brainwave, because when they went back in time, he ended up becoming his own grandfather. Which is a very funny joke, I think, in the world of Futurama, that happens, and it's come up multiple times after this episode, because it's one of the reasons that Fry was actually brought to the future, because it wasn't a chance encounter. He was purposely brought to the future, which is discovered in, I think it's The Why of Fry, which I can't remember what episode that was. I think it's in season 5. Yep, it's season 5, episode 8, The Why of Fry, where he discovers that he was actually brought to the future for a reason, and it's because of what happens in this episode, because he does not have a delta brainwave, which is very interesting. That's messed up in a weird, funny way. Yes, it is. But yeah, it's pretty, it's funny, but it's also not. But it is, like, there's actual, like, lore implications, which I really like, is just, like, the overarching lore stuff of some of these episodes. So this was a really good episode. This is White Bender, the episode, which I don't like. I don't like it. That's not Bender, bro. That's not him, bro. It's so cursed, and it makes me angry. But, I mean, this episode in general is pretty okay outside of the Bender bit of it, because it's not even, like, really great. Like, Bender becomes human, and instead of doing, like, anything interesting with that concept, they make him blonde and white when Bender is Mexican. This is not representation at all. And then they actively, like, just instead of doing something interesting, they just say, like, oh, well, he's a robot, so, like, he's never had food before, so he's just gonna eat a bunch and then, like, die. And that's it. That's what they do with human Bender. They're like, what if Bender was a human, and then he just ate a bunch of food and then died? And I mean, like, that's one way to take that, I guess, but I feel like they should have done something more. When I was writing that paper that I talked about Bender, like, actually being the most human character in the show, my professor said, like, oh, you could use this episode. I'm like, no, there's actually nothing of value in this episode at all. And no. Like, there's nothing of actual value to discover about Bender as a character within that section of this episode, which is fine. We don't necessarily need that, but at the same time, it seems like they just got really lazy and were like, LOL. I don't know. The first bit's pretty okay. It has a lot of video game references. It kind of reminds me of Pixels, which is very unfortunate. But this came out before the movie Pixels, so I think Pixels just took from this movie, or this episode. And then we have Human Bender, and then the last bit is a Wizard of Oz parody. So... Oh, thank you so much for the subscribe, Bordude? Bordude. I don't know if I'm saying your name right, but thank you so much for subscribing. I really, really appreciate it. I kind of got jump scared from my own subscriber sound, so that's pretty funny. They don't explore Flip the sober drunk thing. No, they explore nothing. He just eats a bunch of food. That's all he does in the whole episode. And then he dies at the end. Just fantastic. No, it's not fantastic, actually. It's really dumb, and I wish they did something else with him, and I wish they also didn't make him look like that, because it's really... We were robbed. And I think the Futurama writers know we were robbed, because they literally do so much to circumvent the fact that Bender is like that in this episode by having multiple episodes of him, like, being Mexican. Like, they have multiple other episodes exploring his heritage, because I think that they realized that they dropped the ball on this. And I think the actual reason why he looks like that is because they wanted him to look like Homer Simpson, but he also doesn't. So I don't really know what the plan was here. And I don't know why they were just like, oh yeah, he's just gonna eat a bunch of food. And that will be his story. Especially because his entire character arc growing up to this episode was like about him having more human traits, and then when he actually becomes human, it's just like, what if he just ate a bunch? Like, okay. Anyways, a lot of people like this episode, and I'm not saying it's bad, but I just feel like there's not a lot of substance with it, which is a little unfortunate. This is another good episode. I'm not gonna say the spoiler that is this episode, but it explores like Leela's past and stuff like that and her family. Pretty good episode overall. Video is paused. Why are you paused? Don't pause. The stream is not done. Okay, the music is back. But yeah, this is a very good episode as well. Has a very emotional ending, too. Godfellas is fantastic, by the way. Is this a Bender jealousy episode? I don't really think so. Love and Rocket is also very Bender focused, but it's not a Bender jealousy episode either. Like, this is just Bender Bender worries that no one will remember him when he dies. Like, that's basically what it is. So he has another human conflict. But no, Godfellas is fantastic. This is a great episode. This is actually crazy. I can't believe that this isn't at least a 9. That's actually ridiculous. Godfellas is going on this, because it's very good. The overall, like, story of it and kind of, like, the writing and stuff like that is very good. And it's basically just, like, Bender gets lost in space and then he kind of has to, like, rule a freaking entire community of little creatures and stuff. And it's just really cool, and he has a lot of insights, and then he actually meets God at the end, which is kind of interesting. But it's not, like, really God. They don't come out and say that it is God, but, like, it's a representation of God in this Futurama universe in space. And also, this has a plot where Fry literally does everything that he can to try and find Bender, which I think is very sweet in general for those two characters, too. YouTube is in the background of the stream of YouTube. Yeah, YouTube Inception. Here's a YouTube stream. Here's a YouTube screen. Future Stock is hilarious, I have to say. This episode is probably not one of the best ones. It's definitely one of my favorite ones, though. It's just absolutely hilarious. Like, the entire running joke of this guy having some disease called, like, bonitis is really funny. It has a lot of great, like, jokes about how corporations are kind of ran and stuff like that, and it's just really good. It's a funny episode. Like, I don't know what to say. It's not really that deep. It's just funny. I usually skip this episode. It's fine. Wow. That's actually a very low rating. I did not think that I was going to see anything that was a 6 at all in this original run. But here we are. This episode's fine. It's just Leela being bad at a sport. I mean, it's okay. This is kind of a Bender jealousy episode too, I'm not gonna lie. Like, it is and it isn't. He's kind of jealous of Elzar, the other chef. And he goes out of his way to try to, like, be a cook, but he's a robot, so he has no sense of taste. So it's kind of funny. But I'm gonna put that on here as a Bender jealousy episode. What is that? Episode 11. 30% Iron Chef. Great. This I also do skip sometimes on rewatch, but I will explain why. It is the Star Trek episode. It has the entire cast of Star Trek in it. It has a lot of Star Trek jokes. I've never really watched Star Trek. Like, I have, but not enough to, like, say that this is, like, oh, such a good episode, one of my favorites. I think it's really good for what it is, but if you don't know too much about Star Trek, you're probably not going to get a lot out of that episode, which is, it is what it is. This episode is great. It explains global warming in a very, very interesting and good way. Good episode overall. My thing with this episode is, this is actually kind of crazy, because it actually has it in the description. I have some gripes with an episode that came out in the Hulu era, which is right here. The world is hot enough. This episode sucks. When I was watching season 13 on Hulu of Futurama, and I saw this episode, and also you can see, so 688 people rated this episode. 2.7 thousand people rated this episode. So, I mean, as you can plainly see, there is a drastic difference here in how many people give a fuck about this episode of Futurama. But my god, this is one of the ones where I was like, this is hot garbage. This is not, it doesn't deserve this. In my head, this episode is less than 1. It's a 0. I don't even think you can rate stuff 0 on this website. This episode sucks, and I will explain why. In Crimes of the Hot, in this episode of Futurama, it is explained that to circumvent global warming, they drop this giant ice cube into the ocean, okay? That is something that's in the description. That's something they do. In this episode, they get the ice from Halley's Comet to drop into the ocean. When they go to Halley's Comet, it is out of ice. It's completely out of ice in this episode. So they're like, oh no, we're screwed. We don't have any more ice to drop in the ocean. We are out. The comet is out of ice. There's no more ice. So what they do is they realize that it's because the robots are polluting the world and filling the air with gas. So to solve this issue, they have all the robots go to an island, and then they're going to blow up the island, okay? Obviously, we have Bender, who is a character we like. We don't want him to blow up. So instead of that happening, all the robots join together to basically push the Earth with, like, their exhaust fans or whatever, to push the Earth further away from the sun so that they can dodge this giant laser that's going to hit them. And it inadvertently pushes the world away from the sun. So it pushes it so far away that the world gets it. They get 2 extra weeks or something like that, or 1 extra week, and it changes the canon of Futurama. so that their Earth is pushed away. They have an extra week on their year, and also it cooled the planet because it's further away from the sun. This is how they circumvent global warming in this episode, and it is done in that sense. That is how that episode is beginning to end. In this episode, not this one. I clicked the wrong one. In this episode, they legitimately say, "Oh my god, global warming is back. We need to put..." I don't even know. There's like literally no freaking information about this episode, so I'm just gonna tell you about it. In this episode that came out like last year, it came out last year in September. They literally say the world is too hot again, or the world is hot, and global warming is here, and we need to go do that thing where we're putting an ice cube into the ocean, because we've been doing that for like years and years and years. And as soon as I heard that, because that happens early on in this episode, and I was like, hold on, because in the previous episode there was no more ice to put in the ocean, and that was the entire plot of the other episode, is that they ran out of ice, they tried to kill the robots, they ended up pushing the world further away, thus cooling the world. That's literally like, that's how it ended. There was no more ice. But apparently in this episode, there was somehow still ice in Halley's Comet. They didn't even mention Halley's Comet, actually, so I don't even know where they were getting it from in this episode. But they do not talk about it. They just mentioned, like, oh yeah, this is a thing that we did. And then it's never brought up again in the entire episode, and they're like, we need to get more ice and put it in the ocean. They just don't do that. They just don't do that. And then they're like it becomes an episode of the professor showing people graphs and being like, hey, the world is in a really bad space. And then other people being like, that is fake news. And then the professor is like, okay, well, it's not. And it's just, that's it. It becomes a thing about fake news and global warming. And then Fry also tries to save these polar bears. And the episode continues, and near the end of it, they come to a solution to put glitter inside of a volcano. So when it erupts, the sky is full of reflective glitter, and it reflects the sun's beams away. I'm trying to explain this as best as I can. That's actually what happens in this episode. It's really unfortunate. And then at the end, they realize that the data that they've been looking at about how global warming is bad is actually from the year 2025, not 3025 that they live in. So the data they're looking at is actually from our world. And then the characters literally like look at the camera and they're like, wow, how come people did not listen to this data that they had in 2025? And then the episode ends. And then it ends. It just ends. And I'm sitting here thinking to myself, what the hell was that? Because first of all, no, actually, you guys didn't put an ice block into the ocean, because we solved this many episodes ago. And if you're going to reference an old episode, at least watch it all the way through. Don't shut it off halfway through. What are we doing? The Futurama writers used to be the smartest crew of writers in the entire world. I don't know what we're doing. Like, genuinely, what are we talking about? And it's like, well, that episode was so long ago, and it's like, okay, but also, I remembered it. Like, what are we doing? I don't work as a writer on this show, and it's something I remembered, because it's very easy to remember. Because the entire ending of that episode was it was solved by moving the Earth away. And, you know, granted, the new episode, they realize, oh, actually, the Earth is fine, and we're looking at old data from, like, 2025, which is so stupid, but whatever. If that's the case, they needed a character to be like, oh yeah, didn't we move the Earth away from the sun and that solved the issue? But they didn't have that. It just ended, and everybody, I don't know, forgot what happened. I well, as soon as I saw that episode, I was like, I don't even want to watch this season because it was so bad. I was like, what are we doing? You can't just reference a past episode and then actively not even pay attention to what that episode was at all. Like, you can't be like, oh yeah, this is what happened in that episode, and then shut it off halfway through and then be like, we're just gonna do our own thing. Like, just insane. They solved the issue here. That was a beginning, middle, end episode solved issue, and then they brought it up again just to have some fake news story and social commentary about how everybody's an idiot, which I understand that. I know everybody's an idiot. But, like, we can't just have, like, reference an episode and then shut it off halfway through and not remember how we ended it. Like, it's one of the most frustrating things that I've ever seen come out of the Hulu era of the show, and it just goes to show that the people who are writing for the show now do not care about this show. They just are doing whatever they want. That's what it is. It's completely unplanned retcons for absolutely no reason. That's exactly what it is, Bacon. It drives me nuts. It drives me nuts. Anyways, Jurassic Park, fantastic episode, going on my favorite episodes list. Season 5, episode 2. Saddest episode of any piece of media I've ever watched in my entire life. I often do not watch it on rewatches because it makes me very sad. It's also a Bender jealousy episode, actually, because Bender randomly gets jealous of Fry's dog. Which is, I don't know, this episode destroys me every single time I watch it. If you have not seen this, watch it, but be prepared. You will be emotionally scarred for the rest of time. I have not been brave enough to watch this episode again in a very long time. It is crazy sad. It definitely deserves this, or even a higher rating. I didn't mean to do that. It's fantastic, though. Fantastic episode. Fantastic writing. Fantastic story. Sad ending. Oh my god. Brutally sad ending. But so good. But so good. Also, I think this episode confirms that Fry's favorite song is Walking on Sunshine. That's also my favorite song, by the way, if you did not know. Me and Fry have the same favorite song. It's a great song. Also, Bacon said, oh hey, it's the Mpreg episode, which it is, but guess what? The Bender Mpreg episode I was talking about last time is this one. So technically, look! Technically, this one came before the Kif one, which I think is very interesting. And they only have one episode between them, which is hilarious to me. They have Bender pregnancy episode, and then an episode about Zoidberg, and then Kif pregnancy episode. Like, who was actually writing for this period here? I didn't realize they were like this close together, which is really funny. But yeah, there they are. I think those are the only two. If there's another Mpreg episode that I'm not sure, but there are these. And they are literally an episode apart, which is really funny to me. Both are great episodes. They're pretty funny. Why a Fry, fantastic episode. Teenage Mutant Leela Hurdles is also pretty good. Why a Fry is great. The Sting is fantastic. This is a great episode. Very surrealistic, but also it's just some of the best writing in the show as well. It's probably one of my... I'm gonna say it's one of my favorites. I'm like, you know what? It is actually one of my favorites. 5, episode 9. Great episode overall. Fantastic writing, like I said. Really, really good. Farnsworth Parabox. One of my personal favorites. I'll also put that here. I think that was episode 10. This episode is just about a parallel universe with some interesting differences between the Futurama cast. You get to kind of see a glimpse at them if things were like slightly different. It is a very good episode. Just a very fun one. Nothing too deep, nothing too life-changing, but I just really enjoy it. It's probably like one of my favorite like funny episodes. And you get to see a lot of different universes with the Futurama cast and stuff, and a lot of parallel universes, and it's a cool concept. This is the one that Jujuka was talking about earlier. Everybody gets $300, and then we kind of see all these like little stories that play out, and they all come together at the end. It also has one of my favorite clips of Zoidberg in it, where he tries to buy a piece of art that is an ad. Okay. I don't know if it's gonna pull up, actually. But he tries to buy a rug, and he goes, "One art, please." And it's one of my favorite things to say when I'm at, like, Artist Alley at a convention. It's just, I don't know, it's great. It's a good Zoidberg moment. Zoidberg's pretty good in this entire episode. This episode is very silly. Farns with a big T goth GF. Yeah, he does get one in this episode. And it's actually very wholesome, I'm not gonna lie. Lots of really good, like, little stories of all the characters in this one. This is the transbender episode that we were talking about. It has a very low rating, and I think it's because everybody kind of looks at it for, I guess, what it was at the time. But it literally becomes Bender, like, being in a relationship with Calculon and then not wanting to hurt his feelings, and he learns a lesson about, like, playing with people's feelings and stuff like that near the end, and also learns that it's okay to have feelings, you know what I mean? Which is, I like that part of it, and I think that people get a little bit overshadowed with how Bender kind of acts when he's a woman, and then they say it's offensive. But I think if you watch the episode, it's really not. I don't want to sit here and talk about this for very long, but there's not really an issue with this episode. And you can see all the different opinions of everybody in the Futurama cast is different than, like, everyone. Like, Leela is very much against it, and thinks Bender shouldn't be doing that, but then at the end she, like, hopes that he learns a lesson, and he does, so it's just, like, I don't know. Like I said, I don't think it aged perfectly, but I think that people give it too much of a problem nowadays, which is kind of silly in my opinion. But anyways. This is another Bender jealousy episode. There are so many of these. And we're just leaving, like, the original kind of era of Futurama. What is it? Obsoletely fabulous. I spelt that wrong. But Bender just gets jealous of another robot. This one's pretty good. This episode is fantastic. Devil's Hands Are Idle Playthings. Original series finale. Absolutely chef's kiss. It's gorgeous. It is absolutely gorgeous. It's a great episode. There's some great singing in it. And it's just awesome. Actually, I think that's episode 16. Yeah, it's 16. Fantastic episode. 10 out of 10. 9.1 out of 10 is crazy. This is a 10 out of 10 episode. It's really, really good. Fry basically switches hands with the Robot Devil, and then the Robot Devil does all of this, like, intricate planning to get them back. And it all revolves around Fry's relationship with Leela. And it's very good. Has a wonderful ending, too. These are the movies. I mentioned this in my last stream. If you are watching the movies, do not watch them like this. Do not watch them as episodes. Watch them as full movies. If you can find them somewhere. I don't know if they're posted anywhere. Try your hardest to watch them as full movies instead of these episode chunks. Bender's score is the best one, easily. It's lots of time traveling, lots of Fry and Leela, lots of Bender. It's great. Best one. Beast with a Billion Backs is Bender jealousy. I'm not even gonna put it, just put season 6. Episode 2. It's Beast with a beat. This is Bender jealousy. Movie. He gets a whole movie to be jealous. Because, you know, that's how he is. No, but it's really good. It's a very good movie. Bender's Game used to be my favorite. It is not anymore, because it's kind of just a bunch of random shit. Like, I'm not even kidding. As you can see, there's, like, 2 of these that take place in the future, and then the other 2 are just a Lord of the Rings parody mixed with a Star Wars parody at the end, and it doesn't make much sense, and there's, like, D&D jokes, and it's fun when you watch it for the first time. And then you're like, what's actually going on? Also, there is a reveal in here that I'm going to spoil because it's really stupid, that one of Mom's sons, this one here, he has, like, red hair, his name is Igner, is the professor's kid. And it is brought up in this movie, and this movie only, and it is never brought up again. They never bring it up again. There have been episodes where the 2 of them have been together in a scene. They don't even talk to each other. They don't even look at each other. Like, I don't know. In the entire Comedy Central era, it's never brought up. And then in Hulu, they never bring it up again. Why? I have no idea. It's so weird that they bring up this entire, like, connection, because they build it up like crazy in these. It's built up like crazy. They reveal it at the end in this, like, Star Wars parody of, like, I am your father. And then it's never brought up again. So, I don't know what that's about. It's very weird. Wild Green Yonder is fine. It's not great. It's okay. Here is the Comedy Central era. This is a great episode. I think it's on my watch guide. It is. So, I don't want to go through all of these, especially because we're kind of going to be ending stream in about 10-15 minutes anyways, because I need to eat something. And also I have school early tomorrow, so I have to go to bed. But we will talk a little bit about these episodes by looking at my watch guide, because these are the only ones that you really need to watch. If you watch the first 5 seasons and realize, hey, this show is actually fire, like I did when I was younger, I'd say at least do one watch where you watch every episode in the Comedy Central run, which is season 7 to season 10. So yeah, these 4 seasons, 7 to 10, is the Comedy Central era, because Fox owned Futurama for seasons 1 to 5, and then also 6 when they did the movies. Then Comedy Central owned them from here to here, and then Hulu owns them from here to here. Which is very unfortunate, and Hulu is not doing a good job, but we've been through that already. The Comedy Central era has a lot of mid-episodes. As you can see, we went from averages of 8s to averages of 7s. And 6. This one actually is garbage. This episode is actually garbage. I don't even know why it has 6.4. It should have nothing. But anyways. Season 7. The Da Vinci Code. That is this one right here. It's pretty good. Not emotional, but kind of funny. It's very interesting. It is about Leonardo da Vinci. It has, like, a lot of Da Vinci Code themes in it, stuff like that. It's kind of cool. The puzzles and, like, the mysteries are pretty interesting. Good twist at the end. I don't want to bring it up because if you do watch it, then I think you should enjoy that twist at the end for yourself. But it's fun. Lethal Inspection should have a 9.5 at least. I have no idea why it has an 8.5. This episode is freaking fantastic. This is one of my favorite episodes. What number is it? 6. Why is this in caps? This episode slaps. It should not have an 8.5. It should have a 9.5. These 3,000 people are wrong. This is one of the best episodes of the show. Bender heavy episode. He realizes that he is mortal and can die, and this stays with him for the entire rest of the show. There is an episode where he actually does die, which I think is maybe on here. Yes, it is. Ghost in the Machines. Bender jealousy plot. But there is an episode after this where he does die, and they keep that in canon, that he can die. He cannot just be uploaded, his consciousness cannot be uploaded to a backup unit any longer. And he finds that out, and it's pretty cool. This is a Bender and Hermes episode. They go to Mexico, because remember, Bender is Mexican, and they forgot about that in the previous season, so they've been trying to remedy it since then, because people were like, what the hell are you doing? But yeah, really good episode. Great ending. Very emotional core ending. Not going to spoil it, but it is fantastic. This is also a good one. Really good one. More time traveling. Great ending with a great payoff. This is Fry and Leela centric. It's very good. This episode kind of sucks. Do you remember in like 2010/2009 where the internet was really obsessed with those like cat memes? I was like, I has cat. I don't even know. They were dumb. I don't know if you guys remember the cat meme craze of like the late 2000s. Where you just saw those cat pictures and it was like Kaz and it had all the Zs and stuff and like it's so fluffy and like whatever. That's this episode. That's what this episode is. That's why it's called this with the K. It's literally a bunch of cats from an alien planet where they live show up and then they're cute and then everybody's like, wow, these cats are so cute. We're gonna build a death machine for them because they're cute. There is actually, I don't know if it's going to show me a picture of it in here. It probably won't. They have a cat meme poster in that episode hanging up, and it's kind of crazy because I don't know why this was an entire episode of freaking Futurama. That's just cat memes. A dark time those were. Yep, well, if you want to revisit that time, here's the episode of it. This is an evolution episode. This one's good. Prisoner of Benda is on here. Really fun episode. There's a machine that lets all of the Planet Express people switch minds. But they can't, if you switch minds with someone, you actually can't switch minds back with them. There was an actual equation that was created for this episode that is factually checked about this mind switching thing and how it's consistently you can switch minds with people and be put back in the right bodies if you use 2 or more people to do that. It's pretty awesome. It's very sci-fi. There's a lot of plots going on, but it's very good. What else do we have here? Ghost in the Machines. This episode sucks. Wow. Wow. Why? Okay. This literally only has one sentence. Why the hell does this have like a whole freaking paragraph written? That sucks. That sucks. This is not on my watch list. This is the gender swap episode. I don't know if y'all find gender swap humor really, really funny. But that's what this is. It's the gender swap episode of Futurama. So, I mean, if this is really selling it for you, then go check out this episode, I guess. It's not really, it didn't really sell it for me. It was kind of okay. It's not great. It's funny, but it's not me. It's not great. Anyways, we're gonna continue. Benderama is on here. This one. It's pretty interesting. Bender has this machine that lets him duplicate himself into 2 smaller versions if he eats matter. And then all of the smaller Benders can also duplicate themselves. And then it just keeps going until they get microscopic. And it's pretty interesting. I really do like it. It's cool. Ghost in the Machines. No. It goes here. What is it? Episode 3. Bender dies in this episode because nobody pays attention to him. Which is so real. It's fun. I mean, it's just really funny. Yeah, Fry says something about, like, oh, human life is more important than a robot's life, but it's taken out of context, honestly. And then Bender decides that, that's it for him. And then he spends his time as a ghost just haunting Fry. Until he, like, realizes that that's really stupid. And then he just lives with him in an Amish community. Which, I'm not really selling it because it sounds really stupid, but I just like this episode. I think it's great. Bender literally is so, like, jealous of Fry, like, caring about this random human more than him, that he does this, and it's so dramatic, but I like it a lot. Excuse me, it's not a shit episode, it's a fire episode. Please, it's so good. Unless you were talking about something else and stream is just delayed a little bit. But if you're talking about Ghost in the Machines, then you're actually on crack cocaine. Because that episode is really good. Law and Oracle, I think, is on here. Yes. This is kind of, it's Law and Oracle, so it's kind of like a pun with Law and Order, but it's not. It's kind of just Fry becomes a police officer. And it has a really cool, like, plot as it goes on, which is very interesting. There's some pretty cool concepts in it with this robot that can predict crimes. And Fry kind of gets into a situation where he has to choose between his job or Bender, because Bender is going to commit a crime. So it's pretty cool. This episode sucks. Yeah, the last good episode in season 8 is right here, which is, it's very heavy into Zoidberg and the professor's, like, relationship. We learn a lot about their past in it. It's pretty good. Actually, no, because so Overclockwise and Reincarnation are also pretty good. So Cold Warriors is also pretty good. But I think, so a lot of people say that this is, like, one of the better episodes and, like, one of the must-watch episodes. But I honestly think the only part of this episode that really makes people say that is the ending. And the ending is good, don't get me wrong. But it's also just the ending that's good. The rest of it is kind of, like, pretty mid. And it's too close to kind of what we dealt with COVID, even though this came out, like, 10 years before that all happened. Which, it's just kind of scary. Like, if you rewatch this after COVID happened, it just becomes kind of scary with how they deal with, like, the virus, and people are quarantined, and the symptoms are kind of the same as COVID, and then they quarantine the entire city and are, like, gonna throw it into the sun. And it's pretty, like, I don't know, it's pretty weird to watch it after living through COVID-19. But also, in one of the Hulu episodes, they did an episode about COVID. And it's kind of similar to this. And I'm like, why would you do another episode when you already did a COVID episode? Like, it's just weird. It's just weird. But yeah. The only, like, really good part about this episode is the ending. So I don't have it on my list because it's like, I don't know, watch the last 10 minutes of it. Like, why? Overclockwise is great. This is a fantastic episode. So this has 3 different stories. It also introduces anime Futurama, which is great. Really good. They do, every single parody that they do in this episode is fantastic. They do like a pixel, kind of like old video game parody, like old Disney cartoon parody, and then anime. The reason that this is a really good anthology episode is because in each of these scenarios, they showcase something that the specific animation style can't actually show you, which is really clever. So the old school Disney cartoon, the plot of this is that they discover a new color. Obviously it's in black and white, so they can't properly show that. But they discover a new color in this one, which it's really cool and like interesting that they do that. The Pixel Land one is that they find out what all matter is based on, but because they're zooming in so much, it's just 1 pixel, so we can't fully see what everything in the universe is based off of because it's just a pixel in the resolution quality that would have existed in this type of animation style. And then in the anime one, Zoidberg performs a dance that is extremely intricate, which cannot be shown in anime style, like old school anime. Let me clarify, because obviously anime has come very far nowadays, where there's more animation that can actually be done, so it's more intricate. But in this one, because it parodies like old school anime, Zoidberg does this really, really intricate dance that cannot be shown in old school anime animation style. So they just kind of have him there as like a still image, and then it shows like lines in the background. It's really clever. This is a very clever episode. Where every single thing just showcases something that the particular animation style cannot showcase. And it's really cool. So for that, I would definitely suggest watching this one. Also, just the Futurama anime style animation is just fun as well. I like seeing it. They're called the Action Delivery Force in that, which is really funny. But yeah, very good episode, that one. Why do you keep pausing? Stop pausing. We're almost done. I am gonna have to leave stream very soon, but we'll get through at least this, because we're almost done. We just have, like, this left. But yeah, anyways. Bots and the Bees. I have it on my watch list. Bender has a child. It's very adorable. It's very wholesome. I love seeing him be a father. It's great. It's fantastic. The ending is very sad. It's extremely sad. But it's very good. Definitely recommend that one. There's no more episodes in season 9 that I guess I recommend. This episode sucks so bad. I actually hate it. This one's alright. This one is actually so boring, it's unreal. This episode is extremely boring. This episode also sucks. I don't even think I remember what freaking episode... Oh, this one's okay. I do kind of remember it. But it's stupid. This episode parodies when a bunch of people thought the world was gonna end in 2012. You see how it came out in 2012? Yup. It's literally, they think the world is gonna end in 3012. That's what this is. Because, you know, we had that big movie in 2012 that was called 2012, and it was like, the world's gonna end in 2012. That's what that episode is. This season is kind of horrible. I'm not gonna lie. This episode is extremely boring too. This is probably the most boring episode of the entire show. It's literally just, what if the Futurama guys were animals? That's it. That's the whole plot. It sucks. It's not good. Moving on. Season 9's kind of a dud. Don't even bother. What do we have here for season 10? Episode 9. Everything else is not good. This episode's actually pretty funny, but it's just parodies. There's nothing of substance here. They just parody Strawberry Shortcake, G.I. Joe, and Scooby-Doo. It's really fun. I really like the animation. I like the art style and the art direction that they went with here. Bender as Scooby-Doo is pretty great. The G.I. Joe stuff looks really awesome too. But I mean, it's just parodies. If you're into that, then you'll like that episode. And I do kind of like this episode for what it is, but it's just parodies. It's not a Spark parody like the one I just talked about, Reincarnation, where they do those things where they literally can't show you what they're trying to portray in the episode because of the animation style. It's not like that. This is just straight up parody. And there's nothing clever with it. So that's why it's kind of like mid for me. I enjoy it, but it's just kind of mid. The only reason this episode is on this list is because there's an Adventure Time reference in it. I don't even know if it's going to be on here. No, it's not going to be on here. Okay. Well, there's an Adventure Time reference in this episode. Which is the only reason it's on this list. I literally put, there's an Adventure Time reference, and that's all you need to see. Because it is funny. Because John DiMaggio also voices Jake from Adventure Time. Like, they have the same voice actor. So he voices Jake in this episode too, and Jake says, like, what time is it? And then Bender's like, it's time for you to shut up, and it's really funny. But that's all, like, literally just Google Futurama Adventure Time reference, and then you don't actually have to watch this whole episode. Game of Tones is fantastic. It is also here. It is about Fry and his mom, and it has a very, very sweet ending. And it's a little sad. It's honestly a little sad, but it's really, really good. Ignore the name. It has nothing to do with Game of Thrones at all. I don't really know why that's the name of this episode, but it is pretty good, and I really enjoy it. Murder on the Planet Express. This is Among Us, the episode. It's Among Us. That's what I wrote here. It's Among Us, the episode. This is Futurama, but it's Among Us. Not clickbait. That's just what it is. Stench and Stenchability. This is horrendously incorrect. This episode's fantastic. Zoidberg finally gets a happy ending. It's lovely. And it makes me really sad because they rebooted the show and then never spoke about this again. Which is not cool. I don't like that at all because Zoidberg finally gets his happy ending. They don't go back to the status quo and he's finally happy. And then we get to future episodes, and they just take it away from him. So, yeah, that sucks. But this episode's good nonetheless. Meanwhile is fantastic. Watch this episode. Great series finale. It's great. In my mind, this is still the series finale. Hulu era sucks. Everything sucks out of it. These are the only ones that I have on here that are pretty okay. Actually, I don't even like this one. I was thinking about it the other day, and I'm like, actually, that episode sucks. So if you're gonna watch anything from the Hulu era, just watch I Know What You Did Last Xmas, which is actually very good. It's Bender and Zoidberg. It's this one. More Robot Santa. It's actually very good. This is the COVID episode. Do not watch this. It's horrendous garbage. This episode is about Bitcoin. This episode is about streaming. This one is the one where I was like, this is okay, but then I was thinking about it and I'm like, it's actually not. It's a sequel to the one where Kif is pregnant and Kif and Amy actually have kids, but it's kind of lame. This one's about Amazon. This one is a Dune parody. This is about cancel culture. This is the worst episode of TV I've ever seen in my life. And this is fine. This one's okay. It's fine. This is about NFTs. This is a Squid Games parody. This one's pretty okay. This is more Bender's Heritage. This is about AI chatbots. This is about fast fashion. This one's about coffee and Starbucks. This is about collecting little plushies. This is parodies of books. And this is the multiverse episode. Do you see how all of these have absolutely no substance and are so sauceless? It's actually insane. Like, I just do not care about so many of these episodes. I said to watch this one just because Professor Farnsworth looks awesome in it. Like, this is the only reason you should even watch this episode at all. Because the professor looks like this. Everything else sucks. It sucks. It all sucks. It's all bad. The whole simulated universe thing, that is... Yeah, all the way down is the universe is simulated. That's what that is. So it's just more sauceless topicality. This is the worst season I've ever seen of any TV show. This is... Bender is sad. He is short. Which is so stupid. This episode I already went on a rant about. And it is... I don't know how it has this. It's horrendous. This episode is nothing. This is nothing. This is Fry, and Fry is upset that Leela might not love him. But then she loves him. People praise this episode. It's so boring. It's so boring, and it just has Fry randomly doing paint by numbers as a side plot, and it never really plays into the actual plot. It's not good. This episode, Amy comes out as bisexual for no reason, which is fire. I love that for her. But it's literally just about kids being on their damn phone all the time. This episode is about Farnsworth not believing in God. This episode is another fake news one, and it's also like the immigrant aliens across the street have like a baby cooking operation going on. We should not let her run for mayor. It sucks. It sucks. It's not good. It's not good at all. This one's pretty okay. There's some good Zoidberg stuff in it, I guess. This episode is horrendous garbage. And this is fine. That's it. That's my Hulu review. This episode sucks. I don't know how it has an 8.1. It's actually really bad. This episode has this crazy build-up for the entire episode. The entire episode is build up and build up and build up to this one point, and then they just don't do it. I'm not even kidding you. They just don't do it. I'll just explain to you what it is, because I don't want anybody to watch this because it's really stupid. So, actually, this episode is also pretty bad. I was just thinking about the ending, and the ending makes absolutely no sense. Like, I think they were trying to make a point, but then they just did not make a point, and it's just garbage. The crew find a white hole in the middle of the sky, which is the opposite of a black hole. It takes people forever to get there, so basically the Planet Express crew freeze their bodies, and then they make, like, clones of themselves to, like, solve problems on the ship, because when they're flying towards the white hole, time flies by so fast that they pretty much just would die. So their clones take over and then die in their place. And what happens is there's this whole build-up about what's gonna happen in the white hole and like what's there, and it's gonna be like this crazy cool thing or whatever, and it's built up the entire episode. And at the end of the episode, when they arrive there, their clones do not unfreeze them, and their clones go to the white hole instead. Us as viewers see nothing. And then the Planet Express crew go back to Earth, and they also saw nothing. And then the episode ends. I'm not kidding you. It's build up the entire episode. The ending shows up. We see absolutely nothing. And then it just ends. And that's the episode. Which I feel like could be a way you could go with an episode. But at the same time, it's like, it just sucks. It just sucks. Like, you could do that. You definitely could do that with your Futurama episode. That is a way that you could go, where it's this whole bit that we're building up all this tension and then nothing happens, and that could be something you do. But also, you could just do something with your goddamn episode. Like, I don't get it. It's so bad. And the fact that it has an 8.1 is like horrible, but also there's drastically no reviews. There's nobody watched this episode. Nobody cared. Oh god. It's just bad. Season canceled the episode. Well, they got greenlit for another season, so we get to look forward to this year. Which is fantastic. I can't wait to see how much more Hulu completely shits on my favorite show of all time. I'm just really thrilled to see how they completely missed the ending. Also, where was it? Otherwise, this is supposed to be a series finale. It's horrible. I did not like it. It's literally just like multiverse. It's like, you know who did the multiverse? Marvel. We should do that. You know who else did the multiverse? Fiona and Cake. We should also do that. That's all this was, and it was supposed to be a series finale, and I think that it shares a similar title to Meanwhile, because it's Otherwise. So Meanwhile and Otherwise, they share very similar titles. This does not even hold a torch to Meanwhile. I hate that it's even put in the same category as Meanwhile and like The Devil's Hands Are Idle Playthings. Even Into the Wild Green Yonder was not a good series finale. But it's way better than this, and I wouldn't even put them in the same category, but unfortunately, here they are, having to be in the same category, and this is, like, actually garbage. Yeah. I don't know. Everything here is so bad. This episode is so aggravating to me, and not enough people have talked about how bad this episode is, and I just think it's crazy. This is actually, like, the worst episode of this show. Outside of, no, actually, this is. And this is fair, but it should definitely have more reviews saying it's shit, because it's so bad. Do you see how big these numbers have plummeted? Like, these are at least, like, they just plummet at season 13. That's kind of crazy. But I don't blame people at all. But yeah, no. This entire season and this entire Hulu era, the reason I'm so mad about it, and I'm not going to go into like a lot of detail because I really do need to go for the night, but Hulu has basically taken a show that y'all can clearly see that I am very passionate about and completely shit on it and threw it in the mud and spat on it, and stomped on it, and did all these things to it, and presented us with these episodes that suck. And I don't know why. I don't know why. This episode actually has a parody of the Poplars song from the Poplars episode that as soon as it started, I was actively, like, screaming in anger because I cannot believe that they would even bring that up in one of these mediocre episodes. Like, it's crazy. I was kind of okay with this season. And I was kind of okay with this season. I was like, you know what? It's actually fine. And I can look past a lot of this stupid shit that they're doing. This season as a whole, garbage. The worst thing I've ever seen in my life. And it's really upsetting. And not enough people in the Futurama community are talking about it, so I am talking about it. This season sucks, and it just goes to show that Hulu does not care about this show or anything. I am so worried about this season. I'm so worried about it. I don't know what it's going to be. I'm not looking forward to it at all. Okay, I'm ending the stream now. I'm done talking about this for today. I need to go eat something and I need to go to bed. So goodbye, everybody. Have a lovely rest of your night. Multiverse kills your main story when you fuck it up like Hulu did. No, seriously, it does. I don't know. Hulu was like, let's do like a thing where in the multiverse episode, which is supposed to be a series finale, we follow alternate Fry and Leela instead of the Fry and Leela that we've known since 1999. I don't know what the frig. I don't know what the frig they did. I really don't know why they did that. We follow an alternate Fry and Leela the entire episode, and they want us to care about them, just like we did with normal Fry and Leela. And it's very stupid, and it's horrible. And I don't know why they did that. And I'm so glad that that wasn't the series finale, because I would have actually cried in my sleep for like a month. Anyways. I get the first one on new Hulu season streaming services. It's on streaming service, sure, yeah. Okay, well, everybody's saying goodbye now, so I'm gonna go. Thank you for coming to whatever the hell this stream was. I appreciate you guys listening to me just yap about this. I'm actually very surprised that so many of you came out to hear about this, so I appreciate that. I will see you guys on Friday for Spider-Man, and yeah, that's gonna be it for me. Alright, goodbye. Have a good night, everyone. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out again. I shall see you next time. Goodbye.